before he turned into the gimmick of Steel Panther singing.
Well, I mean, I just found out that he was in the band very briefly recently. I don't know. Somebody brought it to my attention. I had no idea until very recently. I don't think, Toby, whatever they recorded or whatever you had, I don't think that ever officially came out, right?
Never did. I mean, it was kind of more like a buddy giving a buddy a disc, like, hey,
right,
check this out. And he was joking around. He's like, hey, you're on the radio, play it, you know, which we all know how that never happens.
You and I didn't work together at DHA. We weren't there at the same time, were we?
No, but Lenny always said you and I should sit down and have lunch together because you and I were of the cut of the same cloth.
Yeah. Lenny's up in upstate by Woodstock or something now. I saw him a few years ago. But anyway, we're getting inside here. But Toby and I are talking about a station that he worked at and I started at in New Jersey. Toby, I'll address this off the air. Thanks for the call, man.
Thank you.
Or off the phone, I should say. So what Toby's talking about, which I did not know, is, so he said Ralph Sands, I believe that's how you say his last name properly. His name in Steel Panther is Michael Starr. He's the lead singer. And as Toby accurately points out, he used to be the singer in a Van Halen tribute called Atomic Punks, which is phenomenal, as was Russ, a.k.a. Satchel, the guitar player in that band before they did Metal School, which evolved into Steel Panther. So I did not know that Ralph, a.k.a. Michael Starr, was indeed in L.A. Guns for a minute and did a handful of shows. That's all it lasted. And there's some video that surfaced on YouTube recently of him singing with them, and it sounded good. I mean, he's a great singer and frontman, and as Toby called it, the Steel Panther gimmick, because it's a parody thing for the most part, doesn't mean they're not good at what they do, folks. So just relax, because sometimes people take that out of context when I say it. But it is a parody, obviously. But I really wish he would do like a legit rock band, like in terms of like, not a parody, because he's a great singer. He's a great frontman. And I'm hearing that he might do something like that maybe somewhere down the line. But anyway, he was in L.A. Guns for a minute. I mean, all of those guys from Steel Panther were in other, for lack of a better term, regular bands. Russ, a.k.a. Satchel, was in Halford's band, Fight. And Ralph, a.k.a. Michael Starr, was indeed in L.A. Guns and some other bands for a minute. Now, the thing about having been in L.A. Guns, unfortunately, is it's not any real distinction, because L.A. Guns, I'm not even kidding when I tell you this, because their former manager gave me this information once. I'm not exaggerating. There's been like something like 77 people that have been in LA Guns at one point or another.
Wow.
So it's not exactly a unique distinction to say you were in LA Guns. There's about 70 people plus that can say that, even if it was for a gig, and he's one of them. I mean, I don't know what it would have sounded like if it would have lasted or what have you, but look, I think, with all respect to anybody who's been in LA Guns, of the 70-some-odd people, nobody would argue that Phil Lewis is the voice of that band. I mean, one of the things that I always liked about LA Guns right out of the gate was Phil's voice, because I knew him as a singer before in a band called Girl. And he's just got such a cool voice, and he's still a great singer. So, Phil and Tracy are what the core of that band has been and continues to be, but the rest has been a revolving door. And even before that, there was a bit of a revolving door with other members and with the singers and guitar players. There's times when Phil wasn't there. There's times when Tracy wasn't there. It is the band that's probably had the most turnover of any band I can think of in rock. Here's Steve in North Carolina.